What's happening, YouTube? Your homie S. DefTF coming back to you with another video. And today's video is all about the top characters that I think, that I am anticipating playing, whether they be support characters or they be bigger characters, main characters, I guess you could say, that I am really looking forward to come this Friday, November 8th for Siege 2. Before I really get into that, though, shout out to WTC and the tease that they put on for these past couple of days. WTC, why y'all teasing, man? Why you teasing? But no, shout out to WTC for the Energon edition. I'll just say that that's what all the letters that they've built up, I guess, and I want to say, Cybertronian. I don't know exactly what that lettering is supposed to be, but yeah, Energon edition. I don't know exactly what that is, but nobody knows exactly what it is, but we're definitely going to find out hopefully soon. It looks like there's 14 of 14 cards coming out. I'm assuming it's potentially reprints. We got people talking about new cards that are specifically going to be debuted at the Energon Invitational itself at PAX Unplugged, and then, redistributed out for the masses to be able to get. We don't know yet, but definitely looking forward to see what they're talking about in conjunction with the set coming out this week. I'm assuming that they'll probably announce something. If not, I don't know. We'll see. But definitely very excited for that. Yeah, that's really about. I would like to thank all my subscribers for being here. Thank you for being here with me. We're almost a year into this journey, or pushing about a couple more months, or make a year since I've been making content from my channel. Transition from Yu-Gi-Oh into Transformers with this, and it's been a ride. It's been a journey. From Origins. From meeting all the new people that I've met. Coming into this game to be competitive and also make new friends, which I've done both of, and I'm very excited for the future of the game. I'm not going anywhere. This is only, very early in the game. We're only in the first year of the Transformers still a baby, so it's going to keep growing and keep getting bigger, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Yeah, shout out to all you guys for all the work y'all do. Being within the community and talking to us. I've never had that. Back when playing Yu-Gi-Oh with Konami, yeah, they just make ban lists and stuff, and they just piss us all off, and they never actually ever talk to us or anything like that. So I'm definitely appreciate you guys being down to earth with us, and I'm very humbled by that. And yeah, shouts out, salute to you guys. On with my characters that I plan on playing, starting with number 10. Number 10 is going to be Trypticon for me. Trypticon I'm actually looking forward to a ton. Actually, I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I kind of wanted to look over the characters before, I think this is probably something I should have done before I started the video, but I just do the stuff on the fly, and bear with me. But no, so yeah, Trypticon I am really looking forward to because I don't know, he just seems pretty cool. Of course, it's one of its major weaknesses, if not its main major weakness, is needing to draw Battlefield Incursion. You need to draw that card ASAP. It's going to take, of course, a whole bunch of testing to see whether you should go first or second. I think it's going to also depend on what kind of deck you're playing against. If you're playing against a blue deck, you could potentially go first with the Trypticon deck. That way you can make all your opponent's characters attack your Trypticon. And what that's going to do is, first of all, since they're blue, they're not going to be dealing that much damage. And second of all, what's going to happen is you're going to flip 2 cards on every one of your defenses, which is going to get you closer to a Battlefield Incursion. Hopefully you flip 1 Battlefield Incursion off of each defensive flip, so you can grab 1 off each of your flips, because remember, every time you flip a green icon card off of your either attack or defensive flips, you're only able to grab 1 of those cards, unless you're down by swoop and wave 2, and you can grab 1 of them for free, but it's another story. But yeah, I'm looking forward to him with the fact that once the deck starts to get rolling, it has a lot of battle cards printed within the characters, which is what the game is sincerely turning into, which helps for deck building in terms of saving space on cards like Jetfire with Treasure Hunt. You don't have to play Treasure Hunt now because he is a Treasure Hunt. I forgot exactly which one does what, but the one that lets you either draw a card or 2 cards, and the one that lets you, I think, a Plasma Burst, and then there's one that lets you scrap weapons or armors. So it seems like Trypticon's actually going to stay in alt mode a lot of the time, because you play Battlefield Incursion to deploy out one of the mini bots under him, and you can flip that character for the turn to be in its better mode for triggering its effect. So whatever the draw card one is. Wipeout. We're talking about Wipeout. Wipeout, it seems like that would be a good opener for your first Battlefield Incursion to flip, and then bring him out, and then flip him into bot mode, so that way when he does die, you'll be able to draw 2 cards. I Still Function, I'm excited to play in this deck. So as long as you churn out and see your Battlefield Incursions and your I Still Functions, it's all good. But of course, I Still Function is a lot harder to see because it doesn't have a green icon than Battlefield Incursion. But just thinking about it being a mixed deck with maybe I definitely want to play like cards like Sturdy Javelin. I want to play cards because he's melee and bot mode and ranged and alt mode. I'm looking forward to playing cards like height advantage again. So I feel like the deck just has to be heavier orange than anything, because he has a card like height advantage he's able to play, and his effect itself in his alt mode gives him the ability to give all his other characters bold 1. So it seems like the deck is going to be heavier orange. I am worried another one of its weaknesses, you know, besides of course Battlefield Incursion needing to see that card at all, is being against another heavy orange deck. Now I guess it's just like technically like Metroplex, when Metroplex decks were forced to go first, you know, they would have to attack, and then they get all these attacks built or hit on their Metroplex, and then after that Metroplex flips and deploys characters. So that's just what it's all about, is just hopefully finding a Battlefield Incursion and getting your engine going so you can kind of protect and hide Trypticon, and, you know, strategically eat one of the characters and gain the +3 attack, or heal 3, which is nice, you know. So a lot going on there, and I love the mechanic. Definitely one of the first decks I'm going to build. I'm only getting 1 case this time around. I'm hopefully able to get everything that I want to get, and now of course in terms of super rares, I'm hoping to at least get 2 super rares in my box, in my case rather, and the other 2 I might just buy outright, or I might trade some other from my other extras or whatever. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But my point is, I'm definitely looking to build Trypticon first, because it's one of the easiest ones to build, because, you know, you have a everyone is guaranteed a super rare Trypticon upon opening their box. So at number 10, Trypticon. Coming in at number 9. Number 9 for me is actually going to be Omega Supreme. Omega Supreme is very interesting to me. A couple of pros about him. Marksmanship. He's not affected by marksmanship whatsoever. Normally with combiners, you have to flip them to their bot mode and then combine them all with an Enigma, another card you don't have to use, by the way, to get them to bot mode in order so you'll be able to combine by the time, you know, when you finally have the Enigma. But with this one, the only thing you have to do is your opponent has to deck out, and when they deck out and reshuffle their deck, then that's when you combine. So depending on when they combine, could potentially turn the game, as, you know, Omega Supreme will be untapped at that point, then they're only able to get 1 attack instead of getting multiple attacks, because, you know, all your bots were tapped when you attacked with your last character when they were about to deck out. So many different interactions to definitely see how they work out. Clearly he seems like he's very strong against blue decks, because the base, or I forgot this one's name too. Okay, so that's his name, Omega Supreme Base. The base is the one I'm looking at and thinking about in terms of forcing your opponent to have to attack it, especially like against a blue deck. They're not going to die as often. So if you can find cards like Bravery, or not Bravery, but the blue-black one, Point Position, when it's tapped, and probably actually Bravery might be better, because whether it's tapped or untapped, you're able to, I don't know, I might end up playing both, who knows, but playing those cards will force them to have to attack into the base, which makes them mill 2 cards every time, you know, send 2 cards off the top of their own deck every time that they attack the base, and their character also takes 2 damage. So like, let's say you're also tapped out. If you're tapped out, all of their characters have to attack, and I'm saying it like they have 5 characters, and all 5, everybody take 2, everybody. Okay, sorry, but yeah, you know, everybody's gonna take 2 damage and help you get closer to them decking out and you reshuffling your deck and being able to form into Voltron, into the Omega Supreme, Captain Omega Supreme. Something to note about him, he is ranged and melee, and I think that's our first character we've ever had that has had 2 tags like that in their combiner mode or bot mode or whatever. And you know, so Sturdy Javelin will definitely be good in that deck, because you'll actually have the option, I want to say, to pitch it to deal 2 damage to a character, or keep it for the +2 attack. And he's already boasting strong attack with 7 attack and 3 defense. And then he has the Pierce 4. So again, he's good against blue decks. Seems like he's very good against blue decks. I'm kind of worried about him versus orange decks, because if an orange deck can overwhelm, you know, the deck, you might die with these 3 subpar characters until you know, before you finally get to combine into Captain Omega Supreme. And I don't want to just get hopped up on the base, you know, talking about putting utilities on him to keep him brave and things like that. The other 2 are pretty good too. You know, the one that lets you scrap 2 cards from your hand to scrap an enemy weapon or armor. You'll probably always definitely want to scrap an enemy armor to keep your opponent off of strong upgrades, to, you know, slow your opponent down from killing your characters, or at least kind of lighten up on the damage. And but yeah, it's a different interaction to something we haven't seen before. This is a brand new combiner as well too, so definitely see how that goes. Coming in at number 8, we're going to talk about Nightbird, one of our new cards from the faction deck. We have 5 of them total coming in Siege 2. That card is very interesting. Combo oriented decks are going to hate this card. This card, I feel like, if a meta were able to ever breathe and come to a point where there were combo decks that like kind of draw through their whole deck, like a Daring Escape deck that I hope never becomes a thing. So decks like that, or just any other decks that play Confidence or that want to combo off and play a whole bunch of actions, like anything with Lieutenant Bumblebee, Nightbird would definitely hurt. So, you know, because they have to take 1 damage on the character for every, you know, card they activate, every action they activate. So I think that's a pretty big deal. He it's weird in terms of deck building with him because he's not going to be your main character, so it's going to be weird to potentially want to play or not play Contract Contingency and Dual Wield, the top 2 mercenary cards to me. Because he's not going to be going in for that many kills unless you played in an orange deck. Now, speaking of orange decks, I do think about potentially reviving my Fire Bee deck and playing an orange-black heavy version with Nightbird over Fire Drive. And in that, so it has not a lot more health, but it seems like it'll be better. And plus, it's a car. At first I looked at it and I didn't realize it was a car, but so that's what definitely made me want to add it as my 7-drop in that deck, along with some of the mercenary cards. Opportune Offensive Opportune Repairs. The other orange-black card, and definitely a lot of room to play. Orange-black deck. So looking excited, definitely looking to play, and excited for Nightbird. Coming in at number 7, we're going to actually talk about another mercenary that's a little higher on my list, but definitely going to be played all the same in terms of when I build it. I don't know, but definitely Lockdown. Lockdown can put you on lockdown. Seems like very, very fast. ASAP. No Rocky. But I definitely think he's going to prey on smaller decks. So decks that are, 4 or 5 wide-ish and can die in one shot, Lockdown is going to prey on. And then when he attacks, he has like 15 health. So it's going to take a while for him to actually get knocked down anyway. So he'll be able to gain that +2 attack a lot. And then actually when he's finally loaded up, he actually wants to attack in his bot mode, or excuse me, in his alt mode, because he's stronger in that mode. And plus when you flip to that mode, you're able to sift through your deck really nice and kind of fix your hand. So I'm really excited for him. And of course, he's a car. So he seems like he's going to be a very hard hitter. Of course, it's going to take a while, but you're able to take advantage of those mercenary cards like Dual Wield and Contract Contingency. I can't say that word correctly, and go from there. So definitely looking to be excited for Lockdown and play him. Coming in at number 6, we have Six Gun, Sergeant Six Gun. This card seems very powerful. It's one of our first, other one being Brunt, one of our first battle masters that break apart and turn into 2 different parts. So you have your weapon, and then you also have your one part turns into a utility as well. But while he's on the field, he has a powerful effect, and he has potential to do some very heavy damage coming right out the gate. Potentially, like the immediate first 2 characters. The immediate first character I'm thinking about pairing him with is Optimus Prime, General Optimus Prime from Wave 3, giving Six Gun that bold 1 right out the gate. If you have a grenade launcher, you have something in your hand, you could potentially pitch that and then go in for, have to be a 7 bold 1 going into whatever, and potentially KO in one of the characters right out the gate. That was always powerful with the Secret Sentinels deck from this format currently that we're in, with General Optimus Prime giving bold 1 to Prowl, and then him already having bold 1 himself. So it is 5 bold 2 coming in at a character and definitely swinging for some big damage. So definitely looking forward to Six Gun. I like how both parts break apart. You can either put them on the same character, or you can put them on each one of your characters. Like, I think the first deck I'm thinking about playing is a mixed deck with Six Gun, Optimus, and Steeljaw. Steeljaw passes bold 1 over to Optimus. Optimus passes bold 1 back over to Steeljaw. Steeljaw has bold 2 now. 3 bold 2, put a grenade launcher on him and go to town. So definitely looking forward to that deck. So look out for a deck profile for that coming up soon. And definitely Six Gun is rounding out one of my top 10 characters to look forward to playing. All right, baby, top five. We're talking about the top 5 here. And coming in at number 5 is the Private Vanguard, the helmet. I want to play this card just so I can say I'm playing a helmet deck, but it won't be for the reasons that people think I'm playing a helmet deck. No, but this helmet seems very powerful. The fact that it turns into a weapon or armor for free makes your opponent have to use a bashing shield to waste on that. Then you have this other armor that you've had in your hand the entire time. You can play that force field, you can play that sparring gear, you can play that whatever. I just like this card a lot. It's our first armor battle master that was revealed to us, but I also really want to play this card because I definitely mentioned in a couple of videos, one of my commentary videos, that I was wondering, and this was before they announced any of them, I was wondering if they would potentially ever release any battle masters that were utilities or armors. And sure enough, they show him, and I'm like, wow, that's great. I potentially want to play him in a blue deck. I'm going to try him in blue decks. Of course, he's not really going to do too much, but then when he does die, it turns into an armor, and it's very valuable there. I even want to potentially try it in some 4 wide-ish orange decks. I've never really, another big reason why I want to play this card is because I've never really branched out to play 4 or so wide decks, except for Aerial Bots. Aerial Bots is the only deck that I've really branched out like that. Normally my decks are always 3 wide, and I go into 2 wide. That's my play style. That's how I play. I don't want that to necessarily be like the only way I ever play though, so I do want to explore some 4 wide aggro decks that play a good bit of white cards, like maybe Kinetic Whip, that intensive Kinetic Whip, and Sturdy javelins, etc. You know, to take advantage of your character not being able to take more than 5 damage and them have to force and waste another attack into that character. So definitely looking forward to the Private Vanguard and what he has to offer. And yeah. Coming in at number 4. Number 4 for me, you guys know I love to draw cards. I've been, you know, fine-tuning that Fire Bee deck forever. I love drawing cards, but the card that lets you draw outside of battle, which just seems insane, and it's a common, we're going to talk about Springer. Springer seems ridiculous. Like, especially, it seems like there are a lot of cards in this game currently that are just made for one character. Now, of course, through the life of the game, until we get, you know, wave 5, wave 6, wave 10, of course, there'll be other cards that will work great with some of these battle cards. But it seems like a lot of these battle cards are just perfect for one character. Like Universal Flying Object is great with just Shockwave. It's not that good with Alpha Trion because you flip him to the other mode and flip him back, and it's like, okay, I get an orange action, but I can't use that orange action until the next turn. With Shockwave, it's like a, you know, disruptive entrance slash, you know, you draw a card and make your opponent scrap a card, so you get a lot more value out of that, and you're seeing the card on top of your deck, so you're able to get what you want. A card like a Conversion Engine, going back on topic, Conversion Engine seems very good with Springer because, you know, he can just flip to a mode, discard an action, draw 2, and then flip to the other alt mode, discard a upgrade and draw 2. So you can like really fix your hands and get rid of those dead, you know, handheld blasters or whatever you have in your hand for actions to you know, fix your hand. Now, character-wise, I don't know who I want to pair him with. Like, immediately, my brain always goes to, like, the old school 3Y Prime days. 3Y Prime. Boy, do I have some plans for you. But anyway, so the 3Y, like, I go back to the roots of the 3Y Prime deck. A big guy, your medium guy, and then a small guy in that term. So I'm thinking of, like, immediately, like, Flame War and Hot Rod, and then have a star card. And that's probably where I'm going to start just to see what happens, and then I'll go from there. But at the same time, I feel like I don't want to play Flame War because I want to flip Springer immediately. I don't care to necessarily have the 7 cards by the time it's his turn to attack, but I definitely want to keep sifting through those cards, find that Conversion Engine, because Conversion Engine is what's really going to help you flip through your deck and you know, like, you know, sift through your deck and get to the cards you want in order to defeat your opponent. So definitely looking forward to Springer. You know, again, I love drawing cards. Who doesn't? But I think I like drawing cards a little bit more than everybody else. But definitely looking forward to Springer. He's 16-2 in every single mode. So definitely seems to be a savage powerhouse, and looking forward to him. And coming in at number 3, we're going to talk about another Battle Master. And, you know, my list, I didn't want to include too many obvious characters. So, like, I will just give you a spoiler alert now. Jetfire did not make my list. Now, Jetfire is a very good card. Don't get me wrong. I also plan on playing Jetfire, too. Just for this list, I didn't want to make it so obvious. It's like, okay, we're coming down to the last 3. And it's like, we know who his 3 are going to be. They're going to be Lord Megatron, Optimus, you know, Big Optimus, and Jetfire. You know, I can click off the video. Caliburst. Caliburst is my number 3 choice. I think this card is going to be great against, very strong against decks that, you know, of course, obviously want to draw a lot. And because I don't think that combo orient, like, especially like against the number 4 spot that we just talked about, Springer, you know, I really think that making them take 1 damage for each card they draw outside of their draw phase is going to be very annoying for them very quick. And if they stop doing those things like drawing cards and things like that, then it's like, okay, well, you're not going towards the main plan of why you built the deck the way you built it. So Caliburst, it seems like he's going to be very good, a very good side deck character for Major Shockwave. Kind of get away from the 2Y thing. Now, I say that, and I might still end up keeping Optimus, or I might go Brunt. Brunt is another card I didn't make his list, but I really do like Brunt as well. But yeah, there's so many different avenues to take with it, but I'm definitely looking forward to Caliburst and his effect. If you have your opponent that is playing a lot more draw cards than you do, when it finally does turn into a weapon, you're able to do a Major Shockwave-ish effect and make them scrap a card and you draw a card, which would be nice for next turn. It's kind of like, no, not kind of like, it pretty much is like a more powerful Fire Drive effect, you know, when Fire Drive's attacking. And then, of course, it's a +3 weapon. So, and he's ranged, you know, so you play a range package with him. And yeah, so definitely looking forward to Caliburst, one of my most anticipated cards coming out in the set. I think he will change things and make people change the way people play. Say it like that. And you know, there's really nothing they can do about it. So if they go drawing 2 cards for Springer, they have to immediately take a press the advantage-ish effect, or not press the advantage, plasma burst-ish effect on their characters, and that goes from there. So Caliburst, come on in. Now, you know, this list could not exclude the big homie, General Optimus Prime. Definitely looking forward to playing the new General Optimus from Wave 4. I wish that he had a different name slightly, like how Lord Megatron is different from, you know, the other Megatrons. And but yeah, Galaxy Prime, I guess that's the best way to, and that sounds a lot cooler. Galaxy Prime, definitely looking forward to playing him. you know, it's going to be a toss-up. I really want to see what Jetfire has to offer versus Optimus. So I think I definitely wanted to see if I can find somebody that has the opposite deck, or maybe I could build both and have them play one of the decks so I can see exactly what's more important in terms, because Jetfire has a great effect, Optimus has a great effect. I wish I could play them both together, but of course you can't. One's 15 stars, one is 16. And but the Galaxy Prime just seems like he is very hard to kill, and I'm basing that via energy pack. Now I really think that one of the downsides to him is if people are anticipating this card, and if people are thinking if how I'm thinking ends up playing out. I think that's the best way to say it. Cards like Reprocess and Vaporize and all those cards, Ramming Speed, cards that specifically can get at utilities. The more and more as sets come out, as sets keep coming out, utilities get more and more stronger, which means we're going to need cards to specifically target that card. So I don't know about Crushing Size, but hey, who knows? We could potentially play Crushing Size. That is a white card that also helps in conjunction with, you know, that ballistic turret helmet guy, Private Vanguard. So who knows? But so what I'm getting at is getting rid of, you know, Big Optimus's energy packs could potentially be, you know, dangerous for him. But at the same time, I think it's like, well, if you use your turn to get rid of my utility, I still have my armor, if I do have an armor attached, and then you still have to try to get through me. And if you only deal a couple of damage, well, when Optimus comes back and hits you, especially if he has a Ion Blast or Optimus Prime, he's taking some heads off. He's taking some heads off, and he might even KO your character, which sets you back and even makes it even more important that you actually just try to kill my character and not worry about my upgrades. So if you're worrying about my upgrades with the ramming speed or whatever, you're not playing, or whatever you're playing, you're not playing a card to boost your attack or to give you Pierce or anything like that. So 21 health, being able to play one shot stand, one shot fall, being able to play the direct damage package, the range package, which is the direct damage package. Now we have Sturdy Javelin as well. We have cards like Sabotage Armaments that helps kind of break apart your opponent's weapons so Prime lives even longer. It just seems like he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Just, I mean, 8 attack and then 21 health, and then even if I just had, I don't even want to live the dream of having 3 energy packs on him. Even just 1. I'm fine with the 1. Then he's at 25 health. If I can at least even get 2 on him, or I have 2 and you only break 1, I'm still ahead, and it's still going to take a while to kill me, and that's still insane. You know, he may have a problem with some aggressive decks, but at the same time, he's already hitting like a tank, and he's like a truck that he is, and really knocking bots out. So definitely looking forward to Galaxy Prime, and it's definitely going to be one of the super rares. I hope I pull up my case and definitely get a deck profile to you guys for it, as well as duels with it. And number 1. I can't actually believe that, honestly, Galaxy Prime isn't my number 1. And you know what? I take that back. He was my number 1 until they showed us this guy. Octone. He's the man. Direct damage is like my favorite thing in this game. Ever since it's been explained to me since I first started playing this game, and I understand it to a T. Not saying others don't, but I'm really in tune with it, and I really understand how to spread my direct damage when I'm playing. It's like I'm in the zone. I feel like I'm playing Call of Duty. I'm just blasting fools, it's blasting fools, it's blasting fools, it's blasting fools. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, Octone is ridiculous. Like, talk about direct damage. He might actually even be better than Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend when it comes to direct damage, because he just does it within himself. You play contract contingency on him, and he's knocking fools out. 6-17-2 across every single mode. Well, excuse me, I take that back. 6-17-2 in bot mode, and then 5, which is pretty much 8-17-2 in both his alt modes, is just insane. And then that extra 1 damage throughout the game can actually matter. I don't know if playing Conversion Engine is going to be necessary, but hot damn. Talk about direct damage. Take cover is not even going to be enough. It's going to be enough for 1 turn, and even then, is that really going to be enough? But between Arm Hovercraft, Marksmanship, Bugs is going to hate this deck, that's for damn sure, and you know your boy is happy about that. I'm happy about being able to blast these Bugs, and it's just going to be awesome. It's going to be dope. Octone is ridiculous. Being able to play, of course, my first avenue, which is probably going to be most people's first avenue, which is fine. But with Flame War, and then Flame War and somebody else, I'm not sure exactly who. I don't know who else I want to pair him with, but Octone just seems insane. And forgive me, Raider Sights. I gotta step back here for a second. I did not add Raider Sights at all into my, you know what, let's kick Lockdown out. Lockdown can go for that spot. Raider Sights, and he probably should be even lower than that. Raider Sights is a Battle Master that I plan on using a lot of, like probably the first team that I'll probably use with Octone is Raider Sights and Flame War. I might even do Raider Sights and Cali Burst or whatever, because I love Cali Burst, and just having those two that can load up on Octone, it seems really good. I might even go the route of like the old school Optimus Prime deck and do with Flame War and Hot Rod, like I I said, the old school way. So those avenues I always usually pull from history and then go with, well, that doesn't really work, and then go from there. So that's how I usually end up doing my shadow play testing. Octone and like Raider Sights, I don't feel like I'm going to be playing Conversion Engine in that deck. So just off the top of my head, I feel like when the Raider Sights dies and turns into a utility, now Octone's a 7, 17, 3, and, you know, or even like when he's in one of his alt modes that he gets the +3 when attacking into that bot, you know, he'll be a 9 minimum. If he has an RR Disruptor Blade or whatever, he's a 12. Like, just ridiculous. He has a lot of versatility, and like I said, the direct damage is nuts. Against smaller decks, he prays against smaller decks. Every time he goes to attack against one of them, he can go kill any bot, most likely that he wants to, and also go shoot somebody else for 2 damage. He is just epitome of direct damage, and that is, again, my favorite thing in this game. Looking for the Octone. Again, I don't even want to say honorable mention, Raider Sights. I forgot about my boy Raider Sights. Raider Sights is probably actually my favorite Battle Master coming out of this set. So you would think that he would be on the list, but somehow I forgot. So don't mind me there. But yeah, so that's it for my top 10 list. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys hanging with me. Smash that subscribe button if you like my content. If you definitely like my content, leave a like. I'd very much appreciate it. Those little things you guys do help me out a lot. Be looking forward to another giveaway coming up soon. It's going to be a little, not interesting, but it's going to be different than what I normally do. And it's going to be something super simple, but something just to laugh at and have fun with me as I do these giveaways. But I'm just giving away, you know, just giving back to you guys in the community for liking my videos and for subscribing to my channel and checking out my content. And it all just works out for everybody, because if you like my content, it's going to keep coming. Don't worry about it. And, you know, again, deck profiles, the gameplay, and, you know, more live streams potentially. And even with some, we have a little community building up here over in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, especially at the Adventurers Guild. So it'd be nice to potentially get some live stream games with those guys and do like a King of the Hill there. And you know, like I said, I want to do a case opening. I got a couple other things I want to do, but I'll stop right there and be expecting my top 10 battle cards, top 10 or so, because I might forget a card there too again, because there's just so many. And yeah, be expecting that video coming up within the next couple of days, following up, coming up to the weekend with Siege 2, and like I said, a case opening, and we'll go from there. So without further ado, you guys know what it is as usual. This is S. Dot, that's TF, heading out. Peace.